Number 3. Wait for the Lord Jesus as those who know the Master's coming may be long delayed. Wait for the Lord Jesus as those who know the Master's coming may be long delayed. We have now reached the parable of the 10 virgins. I'm not going to read this entire passage. I'm sure most of you know the story, but there are some wedding customs there that you need to understand to make sense of the parable. In the ancient world, the focus was on the groom rather than on the bride. Just the opposite of today. Today you read a newspaper account and the bride is described in great detail, what she wore and the taffeta this and the train of that and the style of her dress and what her bridesmaids were wearing and so on, so on, so on. And then down toward the bottom of the newspaper notice it says, the groom was also present. Whereas in the ancient world, partly because it was the groom who paid for the whole shot, then things tended to focus on him. That's also why men got married a little later. They had to pay for it. So the bride here doesn't even appear. She's not part of the story. It doesn't really make a difference. She's not there. The way these things worked, however, was that usually there was some sort of minor ceremony in the bride's house, at her brother's home or her father's home, some ceremony for immediate family, closest friends, and because they weren't so concerned with time as we are today, trying to get things done exactly by 3:16 or whatever. Therefore, those things could go on a bit. And then there would be a procession through the streets to the groom's place. And at the groom's place, that's where the official ceremonies began. And if it was a relatively poor chap that was getting married, they would go on for the rest of the day. If it was someone who was posh, wow, in that case, they could go on for a week. It would be a week-long wedding celebration. And those who were invited to come would actually join in on the wedding procession to enter into the groom's place and participate in the festivities. In this case, the groom is pretty posh. When he gets there, he's in a walled home. There is a gate and a wall and so forth. And so this is apparently a pretty big do. And then people who are supposed to join in along the line are the ones who have their invitations. They join in. But, you know, experience has told them in this culture that sometimes the initial do at the bride's place could be delayed, and therefore you have to be ready to join the party at night. Have your torches ready with an appropriate amount of oil so that you're covered.